1,000 subscribers, honey. So this is our celebration episode.
And our promise to you that we are going to read these hate comments and let's read them to filth and enjoy all of the fun fans and new folks that we have definitely gained throughout this last year.
Ciao.
This is the Transparency Podcast Show.
Do you realize there is one comment on here on one of our newest videos that said, oh my God, I've been watching this for 3 months. How dare they still make content? What? What? You think we're not going to stop with all these cameras that we got here in this investment that we made? This is a nonstop show. We are trans people and we are problematic with a purpose.
And we got stuff to say.
We really do.
What?
So Blossom. First of all, congratulations. We fucking did it.
Yes!
We did it, girl. Like 1,000 subscribers, just so folks that know, if you want to start a YouTube, if this is your first time starting podcast, most people it takes 3 to 5 years to actually hit their first 1,000. We've done it in under a year. And I just want to say, like, this has been a fun journey, learning and having all these conversations with you, with all the people and everything that we're doing. And there's even more surprise exclusives we just shot today, which we're not going to tell you who it is. But we're going to tell you, you're definitely because, oh my God, I can't believe we got her. Like, what?
Yeah, it was a gag.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But, you know, I really wanted to get into these comments because I'm sorry. Listen, I know y'all thought you hurt our feelings. I know y'all thought you made us cry.
We don't have feelings like that, okay?
Listen, we're a little dead inside, okay? Like, we have been through so much trauma in our lives that you think these little comments are going to hurt us. If anything, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that took time to type those characters because you got engagement. And that means money for trans people. And that's why it's important to support trans people by trans people. And this production is actually for us, by us.
That's right.
And that's our conversation that we're about to jump into. So Blossom, where the hell do you want to start? Because there's so much, girl.
Oh, so we're going to start right here. All right, y'all.
Oh, my
Here
God.
we go. As a Black person, I'm so embarrassed by Blossom bringing up the race car out of nowhere and accusing everyone of white privilege.
Blossom.
I just want to be happier V4973. Let me go respond to this. 19,000
Why do you
likes?
always bring race into everything?
These haters
Why?
around here.
Why? Because truly, like, listen. Comment, go for it. Read them.
I'm going to tell you what it is. Race triggers these people. And I love the fact that it triggers you because you participate in racist things and you know you do. That's the reason why y'all are so upset that my Black trans self brings up race, because that was a weapon that I used that was very strong in that debate.
Yeah.
Very strong, and they could not touch that when you're the only Black person on set. And when you are a Black person that ain't afraid of white trans conservatives, okay? Hit the cheers button. Let me, woo, that's right. Put your 141 comments under there.
I just want to be happier now.
What you think about that? What's your reaction to this?
Clearly they don't want to be happier because their username is already lying right there. I'm looking at this situation with constant folks sitting there and saying, why a Black woman who has her experience doesn't bring up her experience? How weird is it that you're not allowed to talk about more than one thing at once? You only get to be trans or Black. You don't get to be both at the same time.
Yeah.
Because God forbid we have intersectionalities and we're more nuanced than that.
That part.
But I find this extremely interesting because at least they had a profile picture this time.
Is that even them, though?
Is it not? It's not even them?
No.
Because how many
Hit that bum button.
Because how many of these even profiles do they even have the photo?
Child, probably none of them. Well, I don't know. It's like to me, they're stupid, but I just, it's funny to me. It's just like, oh, and this person is a Black person. Wait a minute.
No, I see.
As a Black person, I'm so embarrassed. Well, first of all, why are you embarrassed? You a fool. You being a Black person being embarrassed for another Black person, child. Just because you're Black does not mean that you do not participate in anti-Blackness. Number one.
Yeah.
So let's be very, very clear. I had to really reread this again. Number two, again, you could not do what I did as a Black person on that Jubilee debate. Y'all were not on that set. The girl lied, but I annihilated her in that debate. Okay? And I'm moving on to Caitlyn Jenner. Move on.
Right?
Move on. Pop, pop, pop. Pow!
Truly, again, looking at this comment, and I want to know, do you have that same energy for Candace Owens right now?
Ooh.
I'm not
Let me
sure
push some buttons. You ain't pushing it enough. Let me get some buttons.
Hang on. We'll turn it around. You want to make sure. By the way, also, we've got this cologne here. I want to give it another shout out for another episode because I'm very, very happy to have some Valentino cologne. I just wanted to drop that in real quick.
Come on, sell it.
Because, as that sponsorships come in, I will do well.
You better sell it 2 episodes.
Right? 2 episodes.
You better sell it within 2 episodes.
I'm trying to get as much luxury as we can for our community. But truly, again, looking at this situation, I want to know, do you have that same energy for Candace Owens right now? You think?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
I mean, it's convenient.
They don't want that smoke.
It's convenient. At the end of the day, it seems mighty convenient that you're looking at this situation as a woman who brought up her experience and what she's been through as a Black trans woman, which is relative to the skin and the body that she carries. And you're telling her, hey, this isn't a valid time to talk about that.
Yeah. And then how can you be embarrassed for me as a Black person? You're not me. Shut up. Shut up. Just shut up.
I think they're saying it's like an embarrassment you're an embarrassment to Black people is what they're sort of trying to say.
Yeah, they can shut up too.
Yeah.
They can all shut up because let me tell you something. I am a divine goddess. I'm a divine Black trans goddess. And I am more of a powerhouse to Black people because, again, when you're the only Black person on that particular type of set, and from what I experienced from racist and everything or whatever, everybody can't do what I do. And this person that's writing this could not do it. I can tell you that now. They'll be somewhere in a hole crying somewhere. Not me.
Yeah.
Not me.
Especially not on that set.
And white privilege is existent. And if you are dismissing white privilege, then you really need to check your own anti-Blackness. And you must be complicit and must be a slave of white privilege. Because let me tell you something, honey.
Damn.
There's no way I would not acknowledge that I'm the only Black person in the room. And there's no way I would not acknowledge white privilege. I'm just bold enough to do it in their faces.
Yeah.
That was the thing. That's what Blair White, Andrew, Jessica, and Sarah were gagging about. I was able to say it to their faces because I'm that bold.
You really are. And
do that.
I'm proud of you that you took up that space because a lot of folks that are in that space might have not had the strength to even go through and say that.
Yeah.
To bring up the points that you did. And yes, there was petty moments, there was catty moments, and there was the keep it cute moments.
Yeah.
But in all of that space, I don't see how you showed up and everything that happened is anything other than you showing up for yourself. That's the other thing too, is we are not a monolith as a community. So you were representing yourself and to the best of your knowledge, the community access that you had. Now looking at it again, we got another comment. Uh-oh. What do we got here?
Let me drink some water. You want to read that one?
I got you. So blossoms like saying, who cares if someone goes to the male or female restroom? Mind your own business or something like that. This just proves that she doesn't know how much cis women suffer to feel safe. I think that's supposed to be feel.
Yeah, they can't even spell right,
okay,
child.
So feel safe. I got a little
fail safe. Now read how it says. Suffered to fail safe.
Not saying what's true trans women suffer, and it's selfish of her. Sorry about my English. Now, that was a little challenging to get through just that comment itself. But at the same time, I got a little dyslexia, so sometimes it gets thrown off. I understand. But let's get into the actual point of this. And here's what I think I want to comment on this one. Because yes, it's about you, but here's my space. It looks probably by the avatar that it's probably a female speaking in this space, right?
Uh-huh.
What about me?
Oh?
What about me? Because I'm pretty sure on that entire Jubilee episode, we're talking about, women in the restroom.
Yeah.
When the only women that seem to be in the restroom are pretty little white girls, and everybody else that doesn't fit into that category somehow gets pushed out in some way, shape, or form. And especially someone like myself, being as butch as I was as a child, would have never felt safe in the women's restroom, according to the rhetoric that you're using about how trans women are men, which is, again, this duality, double-edged sword that is cutting both sides of our community.
Yeah.
Which completely negates the fact that I am also for the safety of women.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
We all are.
But here's the problem. It's 100%. And trans women are women.
Correct.
I'm not at 90%. I don't go, I'm a feminist at 90%. I'm 100%. And trans women are women in that context. And it's important for us to also provide that space for us to have these conversations because, again, trans women face so much discrimination on a daily basis. We all just need to use the damn restroom. Like, what the hell? Like, I just want to take a piss. You just want to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Why do we not have that access? And it never makes sense to me why people keep trying to make this narrative, which it only focuses towards trans women and completely forgets trans men exist.
The trans conservatives talking point around this was really stupid to me because I feel like, you know, it's not trans women that are endangering cis women in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And that's what they were trying to insinuate. And I'm like, no, that's not what's happening. Number one, you should be minding your own damn business when you're going in the bathroom to do your business.
To Catch a Predator was all men, by the way, when they filmed
they're not trans women.
You know what I mean? None of it was trans women. It was all like mostly white men.
And they're trying to gaslight the safety of cis women going into the bathroom. And I didn't understand that talking point. And I don't understand why trans conservatives propagandize that because we know that's not what's happening here. Yeah. No one's saying that I don't care about the safety of women in general, all women going into the restroom. I would also care about the safety of men going into their restroom or whatnot. Like, this is not the issue here. Y'all missed a point, but y'all intentionally wanted to misunderstand just so you can say something that is just what it is. This is very, very minute to me. Not saying that true trans women don't suffer. It's just selfish of her. Sorry about my English or whatever like that. It's just like, I don't even think I said that, to be quite honest with you. I was trying to insinuate that trans women also do suffer, just like women, cis women going in the restroom. In fact, I feel like trans women suffer more than cis women going in the bathroom. Yeah. We're harassed. If we do not have passability, because let's talk about passability politics here. If we don't look passable enough, that's when the harassment starts. And I talked about that in the debate. Like, it does depend on how passable you look. That determines the amount of harassment you experience in the restroom. Yeah. But I don't expect these people to have the intellectual capacity to understand that. That's why they're trans conservatives. Cheers.
Definitely. Get the cheers right there.
Oh, sorry. You
guys in these buttons.
So I wanted to mention one thing.
Okay.
Because you notice I'm not wearing sunglasses, right?
Yes, you're wearing your reading glasses. Your librarian glasses today.
Because one of the comments, we don't have it on the screen for you, but one of the comments was very concerned about my trust.
Oh.
Because they were concerned that someone that wears sunglasses they could never trust.
Oh. I'm here for
the level of reach that y'all are in these comments. Listen, if you want to call me out for something, call me out for being fat. You know what I mean? If you want to call me out for something,
wait a minute.
Call me out. Call me out for maybe my hair don't look right. Maybe I got a little stain on my glasses. Something, but that's what y'all got. Like, I swear, some of these comments that I saw, the most that I saw, where they got me.
Yeah.
Gotcha moment.
They got you, honey.
Was when I was looking down.
Are you kidding?
Looking down. Well, first the fuck of all, let's be fucking for real. And I'm going to be 100% real with you. I had to do what's called active listening because of the crazy Jersey Shore crack that was going on in that set. Yeah. And I was having to deal with folks that were interjecting constant misinformation and also have to make a point out of that while also having a director that kept cutting us all off. So it felt really interesting to have to navigate that. And at a certain point, I knew that the individual in question was not going to actually have a conversation with me. So I looked down in sorrow for all of us. Yeah. I felt pain that there was trans people on a stage having a chance to have a conversation and an opportunity. And y'all tried to make that a read?
Yeah.
Like, that should be a sign of the trauma you can currently see me experiencing from the director, from the production, from Blair herself. But not one of y'all even wanted to even look at that situation. Not one of y'all. And it's so disturbing to me because, again, a lot of the comments they came for, they had softballs for me. They were coming for you
Yeah.
the most. And I got to tell you, I was almost hoping for more comments for me because
Yeah.
what that shows is, again, that trans male erasure that happens, while at the
Sure.
same time, that anti-blackness that you had.
That part.
So those two things happen.
That part.
And if you go ahead and you look at almost every comment in the video, most of it is directed at you.
Yeah.
And that's the craziest
They
thing, is
hate
because
me, honey. They hate me 'cause I'm
allegedly,
beautiful.
wasn't I the one that said to Blair, what do you even do? Wasn't I the one that really said like the most offensive thing, which I still stand 10 toes down? What do you even do?
Toes.
What do you do? And if you sit there and you want to say, I create content, you create hate content of children, that's what you're doing. And you're hurting our community, you're hurting yourself. And guess what? We saw what happened to Candace Owens. Don't think that's not on your path. And that's what I am trying to give you advice here. Because clearly, again, if the most that y'all can read me on is that I looked down, or that I shouldn't have said that to Blair, or this and that or the other, y'all, come on. Like, can you give me some better insults than that? Like, call me fat. Come on, give me something to work with. Because everything you try to come for me in, it was laughable. It was oh my God, I wear sunglasses. Jeez. Don't wear sunglasses. Okay. Yeah. Well, every other person on the planet that wears sunglasses is not trustworthy. And I want you all to hold those people accountable then too for these petty little statements you made. Yeah. When instead you could have actually heard what I was saying and the things that were going on in the conversation about trans people coming together and all the different experiences and the middle grounds we had. But no, you wanted to support your ride or die little friend. Which is sad because guess what? Can I tell you something? Every one of you that are subscribed to her, I got to tell you this. I don't think she would like you one bit. I don't think she would. I don't think she would call you to hang out at the movies with you. No. I don't know why you are placating to a person that would throw you away.
Buffoons.
And it's truly in a grifting space to grift our community, continuously grift our community, and watch all of these revenue streams for her kind of dry up. Because, again, I would like to also mention that Valentino, by the way, is going to be working with my wife and I. And that's kind of nice to have a brand to actually recognize me as a trans person because of the work that I do. But I don't know if you're going to be able to have access to that, girl. So you know what? Maybe I'm looking down at my phone to check my bank balance to make sure everything's good after this.
She's too busy listing my resume. And you see why I'm invited to those spaces and you are not.
Oh, right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And there's a reason for that. There's a clear reason. No, stupidly. Hey.
That's a new one. We did not have that.
No, I like that one. I definitely give a little.
That's the one I've been waiting on all day. I'm invited to these spaces and you're not, because I've done the work enough in community. Yeah. I don't make hateful content. And I am a very controversial person because I'm controversial to conservative people because of my very strong liberal stance and views or whatnot. And when I see all these people talking about me, it makes me feel so divine.
Right.
That y'all care enough about what my black trans self got to say. Whether you like me or not, y'all still watch me.
This episode is brought to you by KitCaster. KitCaster books you on top podcasts. How do funded startup founders attract prospects and talent? Podcast interviews. How do entrepreneurs with exits find new deals? Podcast interviews. How do C-suite execs differentiate in crowded markets? Podcast interviews. KitCaster books you on top podcasts. Click the link in the show notes for a special offer. Celebrate good conversation.
You took time your day to type those comments.
Let's go, girls. What's the next comment or the next video? I'm ready. I'm ready for the next one, honey.
Solomon, can we get that? Ooh, what do we got here now?
Blossom using her transness and skin color to make her voice heard over others and use it as an excuse to interrupt others while ridiculing others for interrupting her is absolutely disgusting.
Okay. First of all, it's a run-on sentence.
Very run-on. But I was like, where's the period?
This is coming from, like, I got dyslexia and I always try to shout out to people that don't get the grammar the best because I'm not a grammar, perfectionist.
Yeah.
But girl, we need a period.
Yeah, and they need to capitalize. They need to capitalize my name. Like, they don't never do nothing.
So what excuses are you making for others, ridiculing others, interrupting others, but meanwhile, you're not going to hold accountable Miss White for doing any of the exact same behaviors? Interesting. Why do you think that is? Do you think that could possibly be, what is that called? Anti-blackness?
Yeah. But, to be fair, I don't know if they kind of have a point or not, but to be fair, because I'm the only Black person, I became a priority voice. And that's what they're hating on, because I utilized the fact that I'm a priority voice. I think Alex was also a priority voice as well, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I just took advantage of that opportunity. And it was just like, you know what I mean? Like, did I interrupt others on there? I have to go back and look.
We did a little bit.
Okay, did we?
We did a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, we did a little bit.
Oh yeah, they got mad when I said, "Do not interrupt a Black trans woman when she's speaking," and that will go down in history. That's all I need.
I can't
right there.
wait to wear that on a shirt, though.
Yes.
Like,
yes, and even if other people make it and try to throw it on a shirt or whatever, it's not going to be the same.
No.
It's not going to be the same. Y'all ridiculing me, that's fine. I ain't got no feelings, no way, child. I'm a double air sign. I'm a Libra sun, Gemini moon.
you think that we could be in activism and have the kind of feel? We got to work with logic.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm trying to figure out, when did I ridicule people? Because we weren't rude like that.
If anything, I might have got that. But again, that comment never came from me.
Yeah. Like, we didn't ridicule anyone.
I did say, what did you do, though? I did.
Well,
and that would be
but all the
ridicule.
The other trans influencers who we shall not name got really upset with you about that.
And you know what?
Because they're guilty.
Stay mad. Stay mad. Because if you were mad about that, then I touched something that is a nerve that you need to work on and heal. Because guess what? If you've got this platform and you've got this access with the genocide our community is experiencing, and you are not doing just one thing. I'm not asking you to solve world hunger. I'm not asking you to raise $2 million like Jury and Mercury have done. I'm asking you to just show up in some way, shape, or form and create something for us as a community to actually have as equity. And if you're sitting here and just creating all this grifter content, making your little YouTube content and turning it into, I'm changing the world. No, sweetie, you're not. You know what you're doing? You're creating a hole that you're going to have to dig yourself out of later. Because when at the end of the day, when everything has gone away, and all the work that you and I have done for our community and the other folks, and especially the folks before us and the pioneers that got us access to medical care, to rights, to all of the things like Marsha P. and Sylvia Rivera.
Preach.
First of all, those folks wouldn't even share a cup of water with you because of what you're doing. And you know that deep down inside. And I think that there is a part of you that wants to change. And I'm going to manifest that. I want to manifest that a lot of these trans conservatives that have been whatever path down that they got on because of the grift or whatever, I'm trying to set the example that all of that shit has got to change.
Yeah.
Because we got kids dying like next, and there's no situation.
But you got to also want to change. And that's the thing, though. It's like they're stuck on stupid because it's like they feel like it's working for them. And it just makes them look more like morons to me.
It looks childish.
And that's just my view. It looks tiring. It looks despicable. And it's just kind of like, where's your intellectual capacity at? Because it's like, y'all...
They've plateaued, too. Like, think about it like this. After a certain point, let's say it was sensational. Let's say that the pattern of creating that content worked for you. Where is it getting you now? You don't have any access to anything other than YouTube. Yeah. And you're losing more and more access to community while we're losing rights. So I just don't see the grift as working. I see it 5-10 years from now, you're going to be in the same position Candace Owens is in.
I mean, I wouldn't be proud of racists and bigots following me on social media.
Hell no.
I mean, but if you got a large following, and again, this is an opinionated show, so it is what it is. But, this is one of my favorites.
Yes.
Yeah, this one.
Can we please ban Blossom from these debates? Bring no value. All she does is play victim.
I bring a lot of value. Okay, let's be very clear. All right. No, banning me from debates, like what for? You know what I mean? I think trans debates are really popular.
Yeah.
I think people don't realize that trans debates are a hit. People don't see that people will really watch us go back and forth over trans like issues and trans politics.
Yeah.
And it's kind of growing. And, you know, I told you this literally the other day over the phone. I was just like, I kind of wish they bring up your name a little bit more, because they typically bring up Blair, White,
Trans male
Buck
erasure.
Angel, and then myself. Like they group us all in this thing or whatever, where it's like I'm on this side and they're on that side, which I'm actually okay with. That's fine if we have different political views or whatever, but I kind of wish like they would bring more of your name in and or whatnot, because, you know, we're kind of building this whole thing around just trans politics, and it's just growing. Yeah, trans politics may have already been there, but we're kind of becoming the faces of them. And it's like, whether y'all like me or not, or what I have to say or not, you know, you can't help but to admit I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm visible in that way. And the thing is, it's not that I can't respect other people's different point of view. This is not about having a different point of view. It's about people lying, people not getting the chance to explain their side, because people want to call me a liar about things and show these receipts on me, a certain conservative woman. But this fool was on her platform a few years ago talking about the white section on Netflix. And she's a biracial girl. Like today she wants to be biracial. The other day she wants to be black or whatever like that. And so it's like, girl, shut up. Have several seats and shut up. But like, I don't mind having different point of views. It's not even the fact that these trans conservatives are conservative or whatever. It's like, y'all have to lie to build up this infatuation. You know what I'm saying? That I'm just such a horrible person. And I've just learned to come to this place where I don't really care. I don't have that time to care about that.
That's the power.
And
they do not like that.
They don't like that.
They do not like that.
I don't
have
care.
confidence in that, in the same
Yeah.
way. Let's say a white man walks into a space mediocrely and just, you know, has that ego about himself.
Yeah.
How dare you have a positive view of yourself and stand up
and
for
like
yourself.
myself as a black person.
It's like you're supposed to put yourself in this position of like, oh, I'm sad, I'm this, I'm that. We can fight back. And we even deal with that even on both sides. Let's be fucking for real. Part of the reason why a lot of people even don't pull me into narratives, because I don't give the clean-cut Democratic look either. I don't give that. I give you straight talk. I'm not going to give you the filters and the bullshit. I'm going to give you exactly how I feel in a way that I feel a lot of Democrats don't do, like AOC pussyfooting around about stuff when we really need to be serious, because we've got serious laws happening. We got serious things happening. And now is not the time to play politics in the way that folks have within even our own community, because there's comments on here from folks that are saying, I'm liberal, but I agree with Blair. What do you agree with?
Let's talk about that. Let's unpack that, because you're not really liberal.
Yeah.
If you agree with Blair White on her stance, by especially saying that non-binary people are not a part of the trans community. You're gaslighting, you're transphobic, you're anti-black. Let's call you what you really are, and you're trying to mask it as being liberal.
Yep.
That's not what being liberal and being progressive is all about.
It's the, I'm not racist, I have black friends.
Yeah.
It's
and
the same
stupid.
energy.
But it's always the non-black folk, the non-POC folks that have that problem.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, well, y'all don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Y'all just sit behind YouTube. Literally behind YouTube, and you don't get anywhere. I don't see that girl on Fox News somewhere. I don't see her.
Well, she's been banned, actually.
Yeah. Oh, she's been banned. Wonderful.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you want to create this space that's so controversial, but I don't think y'all know what controversial really is.
Yeah.
You really don't.
Yeah.
And it's shockingly amazing to me that I am the awakener of anti-blackness in the trans community.
Which it is such it's systematic, because what goes on in the trans community is the same thing that went on in the gay community. You know, if you talk to a gay black man and what he's experienced, especially the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and et cetera, you didn't see the representation anywhere.
No.
You saw one drop of them here and there through a photo, when majority of it was white men, affluent. Now that same effect goes on with our trans community, because there are trans women that are problematic as hell, that have all this money, all this access, and you would think would have this experience. But they don't. And I'm not just talking about Caitlyn Jenner. I'm talking about there are locals. There are folks that you would think, hey, you've been through a lot. How could you not see the plight of a Black woman and what she's been through and not see that everything you've been through as a white woman? I want you to ask yourself this question. Would your life have been easier if you were Black, or is it easier because you're white? And people do not understand this. And this is something even I struggled on, because back in the day, and let's have this real conversation, because I will say this, there was an opinion because of the way that I grew up as a street kid, when you would say, oh, I don't see color. That used to be, and this is a conversation that's messed up, because for the longest time, I thought when I would say, I don't see color, it was a respect thing. It was, I see you as a human. I see your soul. That. I don't see any of the frills. I don't like, and especially because I'm spiritual, I see your soul. Your soul doesn't have a color. And that's how I operated. But at the same time, because of the silos that I grew up in as a white person and not knowing the effect of that language and how that actually erases other folks' experience by saying, hey, well, I don't see your color. Well, then you don't see my struggle. You don't see my pain. Ooh, you don't see me. And when I actually understood that and had to unpack that, and that was something your friend Ashley Marie Preston had to kind of call me in on that. And I made that mistake because I was dumb, young, and 20. And I was like, hey, I've been through homeless. I've been this, I've been that, I've been this. And I think even Blair's got like a rough past. You know what I mean? Even Buck's got a rough
We all have a rough past.
A lot of people have a rough past. But the thing that I'm asking for you as a white person, and it's something that I have learned to shift in that space, is, would your life have been easier if you were Black? And if you know that answer is no so quickly, then those are the anti-Blackness moments that we are trying to cultivate and actually talk about. Because anti-Blackness is not, fuck you, you're Black. Yeah. It's, I'm going to take this opportunity away from you because I don't quite think you could handle it. Yeah. You know, it's these nuanced ways that if you're not Black, you can't recognize it. Just like, you know, if you're not a trans man and something offensive is said about trans men, you're not going to hear it. I'm going to hear it.
Yeah, but her comment is stupid to me because it's like she brings no value. Girl, what are you talking about? Yeah. I brought a lot, which is why y'all are upset at the things that I've said. So how can you say I don't bring any value? You morons. Child. Let me just be like, y'all act like morons in the comment section, because it's like, I brought a lot and I talked about a lot. It would have been a great debate if what's her face wasn't all lying and trying to beat the PR and stunting and all of this other stuff or whatever like that. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy.
I think your homegirl you're rooting for didn't bring anything or value.
She had no value.
I think what she brought was hair flips and insults. You know, if we chase down each and every one of her statements and we break it down, it falls flat.
I think all the trans conservatives' points fall flat, to be quite honest with you. I didn't see anything.
Especially Andrew, like that's another thing. To speak on me looking down at the floor, the way Andrew talked to me was disturbing, and he only did that because he knew that he was not on the street with me. He would never have said that to my face with me. He took advantage and exploited the fact that there was cameras. We were on set. We all had to be professional. And he had to sit there and take little jabs at me because guess what? Andrew and I also were not the same type of trans man. Let's be fucking for real on that.
Right.
I lived a completely different experience than Andrew lived and will always live a different experience because I was a bigger bodied person.
Right.
And that is something that trans women also experience. And that is why I always fight for trans women, is because my childhood was basically a lot of the same discrimination that trans women face as adults. It's your hands are too big. You don't fit into this. You don't fit into that. You don't da-da-da-da-da. Everything, I can tell you my childhood is almost a reflection of exactly how trans women were treated. And I was even perceived as a trans woman in that sense because I was too butch to be a woman. I was too big to be a woman. I was this, I was that. Luckily, I was able to discover myself, find myself, and genetically, as a trans guy, I actually see it as a blessing now. As a child, I used to hate it. I was like, what the hell? Why'd you pick me? But now I'm like, hey, I'm 6 foot tall and I got a big foot. And it worked out for me.
Yeah.
But that struggle that I felt with as a child, I see that trans women have to carry that pain as an adult.
We do. And being black is power. Being black is beautiful. I love being black. And, being black is not the only thing to me. I'm also Native American. Yeah. I'm Afro-Indigenous. Most people don't even know that about me. I'm Cherokee and Choctaw as well. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I just love my essence. And I love that I make these people mad. And I want to know what the next comment is.
Yes. Oh, as we're waiting for our next comment, I also wanted to bring up one more time that Valentino.
Oh, my God. Him in this
listen. Okay. I am actually reclaiming my sexuality with this too, because with everything that happened to me in that incident, that video, which you saw the video, remember the video?
Yeah, that's horrible.
But the video with the wifey, that was sexy.
Oh yeah,
that was something it's very new for me to do that. So I am grateful for this healing path that I've been on. Like that incident has really changed.
Yeah,
like I said, like I've been through a lot. And there was a part of me that would have never wanted to go through this, but now in the long run, I'm like, here.
It's when Solomon goes to camera, pan me on the camera. Like, oh, Lord have mercy. She did call me ugly.
Well, maybe she called you ugly because you are ugly.
UGLY, and you ain't got no alibi. You ugly.
While we were filming, they did edit it out.
I do not believe that Jubilee edited out Blair White calling this trans woman Blossom ugly. Everybody wants everything to be as inflammatory as it possibly can be so that people will want to watch, so that people will be talking about it just like people are talking about it now.
Things got heated. I was like, yeah, keep it cute, keep it cute. She was like, yeah, you keep it cute because you're ugly.
Your mama says you ugly. Hey!
I do believe you were trying to goad her into calling you ugly because that would give you license to say and do anything that you wanted at that point, which is a very common tactic from trans activists. They'll try to
a common tactic?
So they have
Bro, you weren't even on the set. How do you know what was edited out?
Girl. And then they can do anything they want based on the fact that they
we can do whatever we want. He gave us permission.
I'm just saying.
That's what the entire trans activist community runs off.
The entire activist community.
I've been a victim of this particular tactic from trans activists. And you either take the bait or you don't. Do I believe Blair White took the bait? I do not at all. Do I believe that this woman believes that she is ugly? I do.
I don't tell you you're ugly, but I don't have to tell you because you know you're ugly.
Wow.
Because of the reactions that she has to supposedly being called ugly, I think she made that up in her head because she thinks that her being ugly is believable. She made it up.
And that's shade.
Do I think she's physically ugly? Not necessarily.
He lies.
He thinks you're cute.
But do I think that she's a Blair White? Most definitely not. Blair White
what does that
is
mean?
Cute.
You damn right I'm not. Oh, you're damn right.
Cute. And you think you're going to insult her? She's not at all insulted because she's like,
I'm sexy. I'm cute. I'm popular.
You mean delusional?
Blair White is in front of the camera. You're pushing papers. Blair White is a princess. You're baking bread. Accept your reality and stop getting your feelings hurt because you think you're ugly.
You've got a good read going.
The rest of us think you're ugly, but we think you're ugly on the inside. We see what it is you're doing. We see that you have no valid points. That's why we see what you're doing. Race.
Because I'm a black person.
But I'm going to go ahead and let you finish now.
And in that moment, I got triggered. And I sat there because I've looked at this girl's platform and she has a racist following. A lot of her followers are racist.
Facts.
Blair White does not have a racist following.
Oh my God.
I've been following Blair White for a while.
Stop the video, child.
Stop the video.
That's enough.
We're good.
I think that's enough.
That's enough.
We can react to this.
Oh my God. So Blossom.
First, let me go.
First of all, he gave us permission.
Hold on. Let me take some more drinks of water because
we got to stay hydrated for this.
What? I'm ugly. I look in the mirror. First of all, Ty Rivera, thank you so much for your video. You made another video too. I looked at it. I was just like, ciao. But I think this is the video he deleted on his Instagram because he tried to tag me in and I blocked him right away. But because you know how I was like, I am not about to listen to this mess. So a lot of things here. I don't really care about people calling me ugly, especially not by the likes of you, of all people. I think people would beg to differ if they put you and me side by side, but that's their view. That's their opinion. You were not there. 100%. You didn't see anything about what was happening.
Wait a second. Didn't Blair White herself to quote your little god there, didn't Blair White herself say, "Oh, they edited so much out"? But so they edited out only her stuff, but not Blossom's stuff.
Yeah,
my stuff.
Yeah.
I straight up was talking about Scientology. That didn't get into any of the clips at all. There was a lot edited out. I promise you, it's a production.
Yeah.
To try to create this, to assert that you know that because it would be so sensational and Jubilee will... First of all, you should also count out the fact that you're looking at Jubilee and going, hey, they would exploit trans people so much, they would never erase that. So let's check in on that comment first because you're definitely not showing up for an ally for
What is this whole issue with trans activists that these conservatives have? I don't really understand that.
I think it's YouTubers in general because guess what?
How many followers does he have? How many subscribers does he have? He has 41,300 something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, I read about this guy. He's a self-proclaimed LGBTQ comedian. I don't see it, but whatever. And the thing was, again, I'm not faded on you calling me ugly or whatever, and you calling me ugly on the inside. You don't even know my heart. You don't even know me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So your speculation is invalid, right? Just like your whole ideology of what you think you understand. You just wanted to jump on a bandwagon because it was cute.
Which didn't he say he was a victim of that too by the community?
They just want to jump on the clout train.
Isn't it the same thing that's going on here where they're jumping on?
But it's like, but this is what they do. They only attack my looks because they can't attack my intelligence. And he's a prime example of that.
Yeah.
He's a prime example of not being able to come back intelligently and to debunk any of my talking points. She's the same way, in my opinion. Blair White is this thing where, you know, this girl was sitting up there fidgeting her hair. And, you know, I don't want what Blair White has done to her body on mine. And that's her personal view. That's her gender affirming, whatever. And that's fine. I have my own. She has her own. And I'm not trying to...
So to say you're not a Blair White type.
Yeah. I don't
What does that even mean?
I don't want what she has.
Yeah.
I don't want her aesthetic. I don't want her look. I'm a goddess, a divine goddess in my own self. And y'all thinking y'all are going to attack my looks is supposed to make me like become have low self-esteem. That's crazy to me. And it's just really weird, but y'all don't talk about anything else. Y'all want to talk about my looks, but did you talk about this body? This body, yada, 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 yada. Because I wonder why no one's talked about this beautiful body of mine.
Well, I will say,
fallacious body.
There was some comments. There was some positive comments and sprinkled in. You know, there were some comments of like, Shane is a very attractive. I was like, okay, there's one in there out of the 1,000.
But they noticed my boobs was on fleek too. Nobody. It's funny how none of these conservatives noticed how my boobs was sitting up on fleek on that set, honey. Rah, 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 rah.
Maybe that's why they got so angry. They got a little frustration. You never know.
Insecure themselves or whatever like that. You know? And it's just like, if we were to look at 21 more minutes of this video or whatever, he would not have any remote good talking points on anything that I said. And that's this weird thing where people just don't understand, like, debating or whatever like that. When I sat here on this couch and I talked about her calling me ugly or whatnot, I was saying I know it was deeply rooted towards my ancestry. Yeah. Because yes, she does have a racist following, and if you don't see it, if you don't see it yourself or whatever, then maybe you need to look at yourself.
But he just affirmed it by saying, "Oh, well, she doesn't look like Blair White." Well, what does that mean?
I don't want to look like her. Gross.
No, but what does that mean? Why? Because you don't fit into the parameters of white supremacy?
Yeah, I don't want that. Y'all can have that. I never have wanted anything like, I don't want to be like anybody else but Blossom. I'm so unique in that, and I'm so comfortable in my look and my aesthetic. I don't care to look like somebody like this girl right here. I don't want to get Botox. Yeah. I don't want injections and lip filler or whatever like that. It doesn't work for me.
But no shade to anybody
But no shade to any of the girls that love it. I have plenty of trans sisters that it fits their gender affirming procedures, and that's beautiful and that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's fair and to be fair, because I can't blame Blair for that.
No.
Or whatever like that, because, you know what I'm saying?
No,
This
that's
girl,
toxic masculinity right there.
That's toxic
and that's
masculinity.
Also, he's a gay man, right?
Yeah, and he's
so
a
again,
gay man.
that goes to that conversation of gay men thrive in this space of they hurt femininity.
Yeah.
They attack femininity because they've also discovered that in the world they function in, the world doesn't like women or anything feminine.
And when people look at him and if they were to pull up old pictures of him and see, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not going to even call him ugly. I don't think he's ugly. Well, some people may disagree with me, but the thing is, it's like I don't judge people's looks. I don't care. Yeah. I'm not that superficial. And when I see superficial people talking about one's looks because they cannot insult one's intelligence, it is so mind-blowing to me. But it reminds me of how powerful of a being that I am, that I got you talking about me, honey. You making a video about me. How many views does this video have?
I'm not sure, but also
this video has do we see it? 99,000 views.
Yeah.
So I make enough impact for you to make a video and you get 99,000 views about talking about me, honey. I make an impact. I'm the subject you're talking about.
Yeah.
So that makes me wonderfully good. And I don't, you know, we wish this person good luck, good health, good healing, or whatever like that. I don't have time for these low budget, low self-esteemed people.
Well, also remember the lesbian rage folks?
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
And she follows me. And
that was crazy. Her comments were, I've been following Blossom for this, that, and was like citing like 3 years ago an interview. I was like, how do they know these niche interviews of you? I was like, it sounds like a fan.
Yeah.
Like
they're fans.
Like I know you personally, Blossom, and the interview that she was talking about, I was like, I don't remember Blossom doing that interview.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you remember that? I thought you disliked this person.
It's weird because it's like
a thing between love and hate, you know what I'm saying? It's real close.
But they love to listen to what people that they dislike have to say.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why people did all of that or whatever. But it's weird. It's like I said earlier, it's like these people were expecting me to go run it in a shell somewhere and go cry in a corner or whatever like that. But then when they found out I just don't give a fuck, I don't care what people think about me.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm like, oh, well.
I mean, we're not your typical left woke folks that, you know, you've placed a lot of our community in. Yeah. We've even been excluded from our own community because, again, we don't play the perfect politics in the way that even some of our own community has filtered out really strong voices because they don't say the exact thing perfect. They don't do the exact thing perfect. But to look at this situation and not hold your own accountable and not look at Blair's actions not once, I didn't see you make a single comment other than support of Blair. You couldn't even call in your own. But and that right there shows.
This video right here that's playing, I want that one because I really want to react to this one. He talked about double minority status, there's potential conversation there.
Yeah. Is that one on TikTok?
Yeah, this was on TikTok, but it could be on the shorts.
Okay.
Look at his shorts. It's got to be there.
But he makes a lot of content, though, so it might be a minute.
Think back to like October of last year. That would be around the time.
What's the title of it?
Let me see. There's no title on here.
Are you able to?
Because I got it on. Do you want me to send it to you or?
I mean, if you want to, yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, wait, you're the only one that shows up. Should I send it to an email or something? Or do you want me to just get up and move closer?
So it doesn't have a title on it at all?
Not from the video.
Okay. Yeah. All right, you got.
Well, do we want to show it or do you want to just have the discussion on it? Because we could just talk about it. Because we've already given them enough airtime. I don't want to give them too much airtime either, you know?
Is there... Wait, do not... Oh, is it... Let me see. No, that was...
No, it would be why...
Okay, a black trans woman. Okay, why... Like Blossom get away with. Okay, yeah, that one. Why trans activists like Blossom get away with. Okay, anything that I say here today is my personal opinion as a black trans woman, and so nobody can police that.
A lot of times, what happens with the trans activists is they surround themselves with people that are actually. Okay, so there's a point where they kind of come.
Anything that I say here today is my personal opinion as a black trans woman, and so nobody can police that.
A lot of times what happens with the trans activists is they surround themselves with people that are actually going to bow down to them because of their double minority status. I know the way this works because I am a double minority. And every once in a while, if I get into it with an SJW type...
SJW is the abbreviated form for the term social justice warrior.
I will most definitely pull the card of being both gay and Mexican because I know that that's their kryptonite. That will stop them dead in their tracks from whatever they're saying. I will most definitely with the gay and Mexican cards. I admit it. Are you honest enough to admit it, Blossom?
Anything that I say here...
What? Did he just say I can't be held accountable because I'm Latin?
Uno card.
Oh my God.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm obviously not Latina. So whatever. Oh, wait, you can't cut on that.
No, I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button.
There's nothing wrong with being Latina.
No.
We didn't mean it like that, y'all.
Yes,
he accidentally pushed the wrong button.
No.
But his experience as a gay...
At least I didn't hit the bitch button, okay? You didn't hit that one. Okay? Let me actually be able to see the buttons. Let me not mess that up again. My bad. My apologies.
It's all good. It's all good. Him being a gay Mexican man, that's his experience.
Yeah.
And how he navigates. And so I don't have any criticism on that for the most part. Would I say I use my blackness and my transness to get my point across or whatever? It depends on the space, yes and no. Yeah. I understand I become the priority voice in the spaces that sometimes I have to endear. And I use that.
Yeah.
I use the fact of me being a priority voice versus a privileged voice or whatnot. And so the thing is, when you take my gender identity and my race out of it or whatever, I'm just Blossom. And I'm just going to say what I need to say. Because I've learned to be equipped like that. I've had to learn to watch the things I say, yes, and also understand how I say things.
Yeah.
Or whatever like that. This whole thing around social justice warriors, I just...
SJW.
Yeah, SJW or whatever like that. It's like... Y'all really are jaded by trans activists, and I'm over here gagging, and I love it because it's showing that we're doing the work, that we're making an impact. And people, and the thing is, it's like y'all can just stay mad about that. For the most part, I'm not really... I utilize the fact that I am a black trans woman because you need to understand the experience from black people.
Yes.
And I don't mind talking about that. I've never shined away from talking about that. It's just that I dare do it in spaces that are predominantly white because for so long I've navigated a lot of white spaces. I've talked about this a lot. Yeah. Black spaces have become much more newer to me in more recent years because black folks wasn't supporting me like that. And I'm a black trans woman. They weren't supporting me enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's still a lot of cognitive dissonance when it comes to transness in the black community that we still need to discuss and talk about and work through the healing.
Yeah.
We're seeing that every day on the internet. But I do think that it's progressing as we're moving along. And so, when I hear things like this, it just makes me go, wow, we really make a social impact on people who can't stand it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the people who take his side or whatever are much more bigger in number. But again, that impact hits them because this person don't know me and baby, you made a reaction video about me.
Yeah.
I'm a goddess. I'm divine. I'm a goddess and y'all hate to see it.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Well, I thank you for saying that and even having that conversation because a lot of this has been really interesting. Like, there's one more comment that I really wanted to comment on just to bring clarity because In the midst of that moment, I don't think personally I navigated the conversation the best in terms of the words that I used, but the messages that I was trying to get across when I was talking about the GED and top surgery.
Okay.
Because a lot of folks were like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of conversation and a lot of nuance that I think I needed to actually add, that I was more assuming that people understood and knew. And that was also my mistake as a presenter in that space. And I can learn to present that better. But when I was making that point about top surgery and the GED situation. Now, anyone that has had an experienced breast cancer or any of those things, I don't think you all realize what you're actually saying when you came for me in the way that you did. Mm-hmm. Because sitting there and saying that a woman's body is mutilated and ruined for the rest of their life because they received top surgery, mm-hmm. That was the language you used. Now, these are talking about trans men, but the comments were, how dare you mutilate women's bodies, and all of these conversations, right? Now, my aunt is no longer with us, but she had breast cancer. And something that my aunt struggled with a lot was her identity with her breasts. Oh. She was an older woman in New York, and, back then, having, the femininity of breast, it was very important to her identity. And when she lost her chest because she had to have everything removed, and they didn't even do a great job, it was a botched situation for her. It brought so much shame to her that she was able to even relate to me in these interesting conversations we used to have about, she's not a trans man, but because of top surgery and the way that society started to treat her differently in that space, that she was somehow this discarded human, wasn't fully a woman, and it was horrible because it was people that surrounded her that she knew her whole life that would say these little comments that it broke her in ways, because women do experience breast cancer. Mm-hmm. So bring it back to the GED conversation. Folks are sitting there saying, well, you can get your GED. You can't go back after a surgery. Well, first the fuck of all, yes, you actually can. There are people that have detransitioned that, guess what, get the same breast implants that cis women and trans women get. And for you to sit there and say, oh, well, they're not going to be able to breastfeed. They're not going to be able to do this. Okay, there's women that are not also able to breastfeed because they don't have whatever, system set up, or they're having some medical issues in that. And these conversations end up harming women. The things that they are sitting there and saying, oh, I'm protecting women. No, you're not. You're protecting a small subset of women that are usually petite white women, affluent, and they must meet within those parameters. And any woman or human being that doesn't meet those, that is traveling within the femininity of this world, will be pressed in a way that they must fit that mold. And if they don't fit that mold, they're not worthy. So that conversation again, in another nuance, to sit there and say, you can go get your GED whenever you want. You can't get top surgery. Well, guess what? When you don't get your high school education, that changes your life. Yeah. That forever impacts you. That forever makes it so it's harder for you to get jobs. That forever takes away experiences of you getting to walk across the stage with your peers. You lose all out on those things that can never be recreated. But guess what? Just like you can get the GED later, if someone did have top surgery and they decided to detransition, they can also get breast implants, and they are still a woman. So the idea that you're creating this mutilated bodies, but you're not looking at folks like Kim Kardashian, you're not looking at Black China, all of these folks that have a lot of procedures, Nicki Minaj, all of these folks have procedures. You look at these women and say, they're gorgeous. They're the epitome of woman, which another nuanced conversation is a lot of them are actually recreating a lot of trans woman looks, but that's a whole nother conversation. But again, that comment really rocked me because I may not have navigated it perfectly in the way I said it, because it was also in the midst of the heat of everything. And I totally get that. But for folks to not be able to read between the lines of what I was trying to say and purposefully mishear me and mishear you, is the violent experience that you and I experience. And I want to let you know, Blossom, I'm so fucking proud of you.
Thank you.
Because this experience that we both went through, and even Alex, has made us stronger.
Yes.
And also has shown other community members who probably would have never thought they could do this, that they can do these things, that they can speak up, that they don't have to be this idea of this perfect person to actually have a voice. We can make mistakes too, as long as we're accountable for those mistakes. And just like we had on the episode earlier today, which I'm not going to say their name because it's a surprise, but those conversations of us calling ourselves in and being accountable is important, but you also have to look at the language of how things are actually affecting us as a full society. You got to stop looking at just white women and how that affects them, because that is the issue with majority of society. When we've got the patriarchy kicking in, we've got white supremacy kicking in, we've got a few different things kicking in, swirling together on top of capitalism, making this wonderful world that we live in that we're all suffering in. And I just think it's really important for us to have these deeper conversations, because when you say to a trans person you're mutilating their body, you're not thinking about all of the people that you're actually affecting. When you say that, including maybe your mother that might have had breast cancer. She might have heard you talk about trans people and the way they mutilate their bodies, but she had to have her chest removed.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure there's going to be people that want to try to find a nuance in some way, shape, or form that I'm wrong. But I ask you, I implore you to actually hear what I'm saying and actually actively listen. Because I, as a trans man, am trying to have the conversation of bringing our rights forward in a way that is actually inclusive for everyone in society. I am not trying to be this. It's not dominating trans people. It's not dominating cis. It's humans cohabitating and trying to live healthy, happy lives.
And on that note, Shane.
I said a lot, huh?
Listen, that was powerful. We are so grateful for 1,000 of you who have subscribed to our YouTube channel. We want to say thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much for following us on this incredible journey.
Even if you don't follow us and you watch us and you hate us, we still appreciate the algorithm.
We do. We do. And this podcast is built off the foundation of love, healing, and just powerful conversations. And we truly, truly want to thank all of you for checking us out. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button down below so that way you'll know when we post new videos, which are going to be coming up real soon. And we just want to say, take a little time to enjoy the Transparency Podcast Show. We love you. Bye.